All right, we are live here for episode 5 of No One Can Agree. I'm Joe Love. On the panel today, we got Nino, Tech, Judd, Roscoe, and Chuck, or Charles, whichever one he prefers. All right, how's you guys' weekend? How you guys doing?
Everything was well.
Good, good,
Good.
good.
So
Doing
far.
great, man. Doing great.
Couple events happened this week. More notably, uh, the NBA awards, first ever NBA awards happened yesterday. Uh, I thought it was a decent award show. I thought they could have done it a little bit earlier, as far as like the date wise. The season's been over for a while. Uh, but
Yeah.
let's get into the NBA awards. Uh, big winner last night was the MVP, Russell Westbrook. What do you guys think of Russell Westbrook winning the MVP? And do you guys, what do you guys think of his speech? Floor is open.
I didn't hear the speech, so
Yeah, I didn't watch it,
I
brother.
think
Sorry.
yeah. I mean you can't win or lose. I mean, as far as individual performances go, a man that averages a triple double for the season. I don't know how you argue against that. So
You're on a whack team. That's how. You the only player.
hey, there's a bunch of folks on sorry teams that ain't out there getting triple doubles.
And you shoot about
As their
90%
season
of the
average.
time.
Nah, you gotta have some proficiency in there at some point.
Yeah, okay. I could get 10 rebounds, 10 assists if I'm the only one shooting the ball.
But you taking out the fact that there's another team you playing against. This ain't scrimmage.
Okay, if I was as
You
good
gotta be able to impose your will on the other team too. Just because the rest of your guys suck don't mean they just gonna let you do whatever you want to do. Ain't no pity in basketball in there.
I think it was well deserved.
It was pity on him then.
Yeah. Nah, they looking at their schedule trying to check you off as an easy win.
So did anybody have a different pick for MVP?
No, I think he deserved it. I thought it was a good speech as well. He had I thought it was a real positive thing to actually see, a young black male introducing his wife, African American woman, strong African American woman with him. I thought that was positive for young black males to see. Him mentioning God first, I thought that was big. I thought the speech itself was pretty good. Kind of heartfelt speech.
Yeah.
As far as his performance, when it comes to a lot of teams have one superstar who takes a lot of shots, kind of going off what Judge was saying. There are a lot of teams that have a superstar to take a bunch of shots, but they're not getting triple doubles. So he was well deserving of the award that he got because he was actually putting up the numbers, and that is rarely, if ever, happens.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually watched it. I saw the speech. I thought his speech started off kind of rough. I felt like he was trying to be tougher and not show emotion. And as he was doing the speech, he just broke down and emotion came out, especially when he started talking about his parents, his mother and his father, both in his life. It was a good speech, especially the second half of it. It was really good. Almost brought a tear to my eye. I didn't cry though, but it almost got me. So I thought that was good. Other notable winners, defensive player of the year went to Draymond Green. I actually thought Kawhi Leonard should have gotten that, but that was just my take. I think Green is a great defensive player, though. I don't take anything away from him winning, but I think Kawhi is my guy when it comes to defense. I'm picking him every time. What do you guys think about that? And I think the nominees were between Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, and Rudy Gobert. Yeah.
Why was Danny Green on it?
Danny Green, believe it or not, has over 40 steals and 40 blocks.
Wow.
Yep. So he was doing his thing. It may not have seemed like it because he kind of sucked on offense, but
Getting his Dennis Rodman on.
I think it's questionable whether Draymond is even the best defender on his team.
No, it ain't.
Let alone the league. I think it is. I think Iggy is the better defender on that team.
Maybe against LeBron, but not against anybody else.
Well, if you put your best defender on LeBron.
No, that don't mean nothing. It's whoever it's matchups.
No, man, you put your best defender on LeBron. If him and Draymond the same
LeBron.
size.
You put the best
They're
matchup
the same
on
size.
LeBron.
What do you mean? What do you
Can't
mean?
nobody defend LeBron, so you put the best matchup.
Because the coach you met.
But they're the same size. So Draymond and LeBron are the same size. So what do you mean by matchup?
Draymond is also a scorer. That's
no, he's not.
Oh, he's not? Oh, okay. Maybe I was missing the wrong. Maybe I was looking at the same games.
I'll say this about Draymond scoring. He might be a scorer on somebody else's team.
No.
But
what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is,
he ain't considered a scorer.
He's scoring. Trust me, he's scoring. You can talk that if you want to.
I don't think Draymond needs to score on this team. That he
doesn't. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But when he's called upon to score, when he called upon to score, if they need buckets and ain't nobody giving it to him, Draymond gonna get it to him.
Draymond can score. I'll give him that. But he's
that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Draymond being a scorer has never been his game. Draymond being a scorer has never been his game. Even at Michigan State, that wasn't his game.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? You don't watch basketball. You don't watch basketball. That's what that is. You watch the NBA. You don't watch basketball.
Chuck, we lost your video feed, by the way.
You just said that Draymond was a scorer.
When I'm referring to a scorer, Draymond can score. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about LeBron.
We must be talking about Are we talking about another Draymond?
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Draymond Green. You don't know that? If you don't know Draymond can score, you can watch basketball.
Hey, Ridge, are you saying that Draymond can't score, or that's just not the role he plays on Golden State?
That's not his role, and it hasn't been his role. Like, period.
But you're not saying he can't score.
I would agree.
No, I'm not saying he can't. But if Draymond went to another team, his numbers might increase a little bit, but no team is going to depend on Draymond to be the main scorer of the team. I don't think.
But I know you don't think because you don't know basketball. That's the point. You don't think.
You just said that Draymond is a scorer. You just said Draymond is a scorer.
You asked a specific question. You asked this question here. Why did they put Iguodala on LeBron? That's what you asked. Why don't they put Draymond on? Ain't that what you asked?
I didn't ask that. I didn't ask
it. Yes, you did. Okay, that's why this is recorded, so it's real easy to go back and look.
Right.
The reason why Iguodala is on LeBron and not Draymond is matchup. When you put Iguodala on LeBron, you free up Draymond. Draymond can score and he can defend. That's why you do that.
So we
That's
disagree.
Called matchups. We don't disagree. We don't disagree. You just
well, we do disagree.
There's a difference.
All right, so we do disagree because
when we disagree, you can talk strategy with me. See, but you can't talk strategy.
I'm talking strategy. Okay,
I'm
letting you finish your point.
Go ahead and try it.
So you don't
go ahead and try that.
No. So you don't put. They didn't put Iggy on LeBron because it was a better matchup. They put Iggy on LeBron because he's the best defender. That was my whole point.
No, they did that because as a coach, you think.
And Draymond is a better offensive rebounder.
And if you know you got a guy that
a defensive rebound, how you gonna do this? We can do this many different ways.
Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, you got a player that battled someone the year before. I mean, if you just look at Draymond's performance last year, I mean, he was essentially put out of game because of the tension between him and LeBron. Not saying that he didn't defend LeBron, but there was tension between the two of them. And if you got a hothead player like Buddy
Matt Barnes,
would you put him? Would you let him hold the same individual that he had tension with last year? When you have other defenders on your team that are capable of holding him.
I don't think the coach.
Would you risk putting that man on this man, knowing that LeBron is gonna pick at him until he forces Draymond to do something stupid?
I don't think the coach is sitting around thinking about Iggy losing his temper. I don't think that's part of his.
Well, think about why the coach
strategy.
Lost the championship last year. I mean, Golden State lost because Draymond was out that game. Had Draymond been in that game,
that's incorrect.
There's a great chance that they would have won.
That's incorrect.
That's serious.
Draymond was out. Let me finish. Draymond was out.
3-1.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
I told you.
Draymond lost. Draymond lost. Can I say a point? Draymond lost. Draymond was out game 5. He was in game 6 and 7. They still lost.
But he was out game 5.
What does it matter? They lost 6 and 7.
I think the momentum swung.
That's
after
what I'm
game
saying.
5. That game 5 when he went out.
Yeah, you can talk about momentum all you want, but you had one game to win the finals, and they lost.
You got a player
2 games with Draymond. Period.
Think about it. You have a player that's shell shocked already. Shell shocked due to the fact that what just transpired.
Yep.
Why would he be shell shocked?
He's playing on eggshells. The guy
Yep. One more technical foul and he out.
So that lets him know that he has a target on his back. So you're going through 2 other games with a guy.
There's no target on his back.
Because if you're playing against a guy that's going to bully you, because if you fight back, then you're out. You're out of there.
Yeah.
So you think a grown man is sitting around worried about somebody bullying him in the NBA?
He's not talking about actual bullying.
We're talking about an athlete that's
So you think a coach is making his game plan around somebody picking on a player? A grown man. It's not even logical. Whenever Golden State, hold on a second. We can pull up any video.
You can keep going if you want to, Charles.
All right, we can pull up any video. Hold on a second. We can pull up any video of a moment where Golden State needs to stop. The person that you see on defense is Iggy, regardless of the matchup. You see Iggy on the person, but that's their best defender.
These are Draymond's words, not mine.
Let's make this real simple, right, Reggie? What do they look at when they talk about defensive player of the year? What are they looking for?
I don't know what the criteria is. Probably stats.
It is stats. I'm glad you said the first words. I don't know.
It's not about who can hold LeBron.
And I'm glad you mentioned you don't know.
I didn't bring up who could. I didn't mention who could hold LeBron. That wasn't. I didn't bring that up.
So that wasn't you. That was somebody else.
You said that you would put your best defender on LeBron due to the fact that Draymond wasn't defending LeBron, i.e., he's not.
I didn't bring that up.
Oh my God! Somebody
did?
Please rewind it.
Somebody rewind this, man.
Y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. I didn't bring that up.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
No, I didn't bring that up.
Oh, so you didn't say LeBron? My bad. Somebody else did.
You can't change debate mid-debate.
I'm not changing the debate.
Somebody mentioned LeBron. That's all I know.
Yeah, somebody did say that.
You were the person.
I thought I was hearing
something too. I didn't.
I heard the same thing, Jared.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. You said, okay, here we go. You said Iguodala is a better defender. Why?
Why what?
Why is Iguodala the best defender?
Because he's a better defender.
Why?
Why?
What's that?
What do you mean why?
Why? Why do you say that?
What do you mean why? Because he can play multiple positions. He could guard your point guard.
I'll tell you why. Because you said it like.
I'm talking about defense.
You said it like 5 minutes ago. I'm gonna tell you why you said that. When we asked you that question 5 minutes ago, you said because.
You didn't ask me that question 5 minutes ago.
Because they had Iguodala holding LeBron.
You just asked me that question 5 minutes ago.
That's exactly what he said.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He said, why would they have Iggy on LeBron?
No, what I said, I'll make it clear. What I said was, and we can wrap it up, because what I said was that, I mean, y'all joking, but what I said was that Iggy, I didn't think that Draymond was the best defensive player on the team. I said, I thought it was Iggy. That was it. You started talking about LeBron and all this other stuff, and then I said,
oh, okay.
I don't think that Draymond, I think that Iggy is the best player because he's the best player.
Okay. Maybe
let's dead that one, fellas. Obviously, nobody agrees on that shit.
Nah.
But
Name of the show. Name of the show.
We're gonna
Eric got the dry there, Reggie. That's what it was.
we're gonna move along, fellas. So Coach of the Year went to Houston Rockets, Mike D'Antoni. He won it over Greg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra. How do you guys think D'Antoni did? I personally think he did a great job in Houston after doing terrible in Los Angeles. And the Houston Rockets were in the mix up until the end. What do you guys think about that? Do y'all think another coach actually deserved it?
Who were the runner-ups again?
Greg Popovich and Eric Spoelstra, Miami Heat.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, of course, Miami, I wouldn't give it to him. And then Pop. That wasn't one of Pop's better years.
I guess it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I agree.
I don't really have an opinion on that because typically for me, when it comes to Coach of the Year, you want to have somebody that you can see overwhelmingly taking a team that's probably not as good as what he actually produced with the team. And, I can't really say that with Houston because it's a pretty decent team. So getting a result from Houston that they got, it's probably about where I would have put them anyway, regardless of, what the coach actually accomplished. I don't really think he was really, I don't feel like he really just took the team to another level is what I'm saying.
Agreed.
It was a different starting five from last year.
But if that's the case, they're going to do that every year for Houston, whoever coaching, because Houston going to get rid of everybody except Harden.
You think so? You think
that's what Houston does. They deal players.
I think it could have went to the Celtics coach, to be honest. He got a lot out of that team. They really don't got a whole lot of star power. So he's making moves with an actual team. And then when they played Cleveland, you could actually see some of his strategies. You could see a lot of his strategies, especially after timeouts and those out of bound plays that he was running. They always kept mentioning those plays and stuff like that. So I think he could have been a guy that could have got.
Brad Stevens was up there. He was fourth in the running. He didn't get in the top three, but he was fourth. The Celtics were the number one seed in the East. A lot that goes unnoticed a lot just because LeBron's there. But he did. They did have the best record in the East. They're definitely an argument for him, especially with their star being under 6 feet tall. So, next was the most improved player of the year, which went to Giannis, the Greek freak. He had an incredible year. I think the Bucks are a team to watch in the future. What do you guys think? You think that went to the right guy, or who else you had in mind for the most improved player?
I think they got it right.
Yeah, I think so.
Good player, good play, good move. And the Bucks are a team to watch going forward.
Yep, I think so. All right, I think we got another guy on the panel. Eddie, can you hear me? He's not there. All right, no worries.
I think he dropped. I think his connection dropped because he came in and there was some technical difficulties.
Okay. Well, moving along. Sixth man of the year went to Eric Gordon of the Houston Rockets. He had a pretty fire year as far as that goes. Iguodala came in as a runner-up, and Lou Williams as well. Those. Yeah, Eric
Gordon. He had a pretty fire year.
Yeah, he did. I think he averaged 17 points this season off the bench. So I don't know if you guys have a nominee or somebody alternate for sixth man of the year. What y'all think about that?
I can't think of anybody else off the top.
Yeah.
You don't like Iggy?
Oh yeah, but he already mentioned it. He already mentioned Iggy.
Yeah.
Best defender on the Warriors.
On the Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, and it looks like Milwaukee cleaned up a little bit. They got the Rookie of the Year in Malcolm Brogdon, however you say that. He did very well this season. That's part of the reason why Milwaukee was so good.
They got a team full of rookies and number 1, number 2 picks, man.
Yeah, I think there'll be somebody to watch going forward.
Fellas, what's going on, fellas?
What's
Who brought this guy? I thought there was an age limit for this.
Is that Eddie?
Hey man, what's going on, man?
We'll stop the show right quick. I want to introduce you guys to Eddie P. Straight from Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on?
Not too much, my brother. I'm just trying to catch up, man. What y'all talking about right now?
Right now, we're just going over the NBA award show and what we thought about the winners and losers of that night. So we're talking about just going over the highlights. Really one of the highlights of the night was the very first Sager Strong Award, which went to Monty Williams. If you guys didn't know, his wife died in a car accident. He gave a really good speech that anybody can use to apply to their life. He's been a real strong guy since that happened. They had, I want to say they had 4 or 5 kids together. They were all there in the audience.
Who was he again?
Monty Williams. He was assistant coach. He's assistant coach for the Thunder currently, but he came up under Greg Popovich. He used to play in San Antonio, and he played also for New York. And he bounced around a little bit, but yeah. So that was real.
Yeah, I think he deserved that award though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Me too.
And then the first award of the day was for best dressed, best style in the NBA, and that went to Russell Westbrook. So he had 2 awards last night.
He had 3.
Did he? What was the other one?
I think it was the buzzer beater shot.
Oh yeah, he did. You're right. We weren't gonna get into all those. Those are crazy awards. We'll talk about them in a second. But you're right. He did.
Yeah, I don't think the NBA is big enough for his own award show. They could have just kept it with the ESPYs.
I agree.
I did too.
I think a lot of people agree with that. I think they're just trying something new for the first year, and it is what it is. It did feel a lot like the ESPYs, but just with basketball.
Yeah, I thought it was a little cheesy with the best pass and the best rebound. Come on.
That was doing a little bit too much.
They're overdoing it there.
Best crossover. Come on, man.
They gave out whole trophies for these things, man. Like dunk of the year,
Niggas getting up there talking about, yeah, man. First off, I want to thank God for this offensive rebound of the year award. Get your ass down.
Hey man, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
I think the undertone is, I think they're hurting for ratings, man.
Yeah,
and they're just trying to just relevant as everything, man. But they're hurting for ratings. Football is killing the game, man.
Well, I think with them having that deal with Turner, TNT, it just made sense for them because they needed somebody to watch something in prime time, and NBA came up with this show, and they got some marketing dollars for it, and they go home happy. The players get a trophy. It's all good. I think that's what they were thinking about doing, so that's what they did. Another noteworthy deal that happened last night was Klay Thompson won the Performance of the Year when he scored 60 points in 3 quarters against the Pacers. I thought that was a hell of a performance.
Shoot. Forgot about that, man.
He only dribbled 11 times during that whole thing too. So that was, I mean, that's impressive.
Shoot,
Oh wow.
you had to be shooting the whole 3 quarters to get 60 points. Shoot.
11 dribbles. Think about that.
Yeah.
Well,
Who got
Kobe
all
did
the
it
assists? That's what I
several
want to
times,
know.
man.
No clue who had the assist.
Shoot.
Oh, they,
Hey man, that's nothing.
oh, go ahead.
He gonna score 80 next year with Paul George. Dude.
Where's Paul going?
Nobody knows yet. They're
Nobody
still
knows.
speculating. People trying to get him to DC out here. People trying to get him to LA out here. They're trying to get him. They're trying to get him to Cleveland. Celtics are trying
Yeah,
to.
man.
So
I think he fits real well with the Wizards, with John Wall and Brandon Beal. I think that'll be real nice for them. With Marquise Morris and Gortat, I think that lineup be sweet.
it definitely make that team stronger in the East for sure.
I don't think so. I think it sounds good on paper, but I think you got too many egos when you add those three. Those guys aren't guys. I mean, they already had issues with the two guys that are already there with Wall and
Wall and
Beal.
Beal.
Yeah, they was already having issues. So if you add another alpha male into the group, it kind of. I don't think it would gel right. And when you look at Cleveland and the Warriors, you got some guys that are willing to be betas when it comes to not having to be that dog every night. And I don't see them guys really falling into that space.
John Wall and Beal, I think they came along pretty well together to make the playoff run. I think they can coexist now. I think they did a good job of fixing that. You don't think can put Paul George in the mix?
Well, it was just some rumors of them having some heated exchanges, and I'm not just talking about like your general, basketball,
Right.
Back and forth. I'm talking about like some heated.
Right.
This my team. This your team. This my team. Type deal.
But that was at the beginning of the season when Brandon Beal got that big contract.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's tough. You never know how they gonna gel. No matter where he go, you don't really know if they're gonna gel or not. But I just don't know with those three if it'll work out. On paper it sounds good though. It'd be three stars.
Right. Uncle Chuck not trying to hear that. Trying to get Paul George with the Lakers. He trying to make a comeback.
I think Paul George would make for a good contender for the Lakers securing a playoff spot next year. I know we're 3 years removed from the championship, but I think this is the year to start it.
3 years removed, huh?
3 years removed. Mark my words. 3 years.
Sound like LeVar Ball.
Yeah, I was about to say, man.
Big ball, baby.
That's what he said. 3 years taking us to the championship.
Y'all can't tell me LeVar Ball didn't pull a good marketing move last night. I'm not trying to hear nothing negative, man.
It didn't start last night. Man,
It was trash.
It started.
It's been going since
That was trash.
that boy got to UCLA, man.
Hey, it started at conception when the boys was born, man.
Man, you call that marketing. I call it trash.
Well, let's
Hey,
see
the
what he
definition of
done.
marketing.
Why is that?
Look, it's folks that
Because
Look,
all right,
man.
so the argument that people make, we can kind of jump into it. The argument that people make is that he's doing this for his boys. What
Doesn't
part
matter
of
who he doing it for.
Hold on a second. Let me finish.
Well, I mean-
hold on. Let me finish. What part of going on WWE? How is that in any way helping his boys?
He brought his boys with him.
He brought it with him, and they was in L.A. It was at the Staples Center.
But who was the main person in the video?
But do you know how much they got paid for that?
No, I don't know how much they got paid.
Exactly. So
Who cares? I mean, his son just signed a multi-million-dollar deal. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Well, I think that
Is there no money that look bad?
that doesn't look bad. That's publicity, man. That's branding.
I'll say it like this, man. I think people kind of get things confused. There's a difference between marketing and being a good parent. You can judge his parenting and his motives for what he's doing, but as far as the effectiveness of it, you can't deny that, man.
Yeah. How many times has his son been locked up? Name one of his sons has been locked up.
What does being locked up have to do with being a bad look for your kids?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a bad look. I mean, it's because at the end of the day, they're looked as. You don't think. Hold
on. Let's ask this. You don't think that going on WWE with a kid who hadn't dribbled the ball one time in the league yet is not adding any kind of additional pressure on your kid?
What pressure? What additional pressure? What?
Everybody in the league. Everybody in the league gonna have this little dude on their back. Like, man, this dude gonna get it now.
So the ball boys have been under pressure for 5-6 years, man.
Nobody even knew this dude 2 years ago. Nobody knew Lonzo Ball 2 years ago.
I'll
give you guys a little something here. Now, there was a controversy with that WWE appearance as LaMelo, the younger son, who's a freshman in high school, got the microphone when LeVar took off his shirt, and he told him to beat that nigga's ass.
Beat that nigga's ass, yeah.
And he said it 3 times on live TV.
I heard it too.
WWE put out a statement that said we don't condone that type of language, and those aren't our views. LaMelo said on the microphone in front of all those people, beat that nigga's ass.
Just a dad putting his son in a good position.
Hey, it's all good.
Great marketing.
It's all good though.
Hey, that's great marketing.
He wasn't.
Man, hey,
excellent marketing.
Check this out though. All three of his sons have had a full ride to UCLA.
Okay,
I agree. That's great. You can't
beat okay. That's more than okay.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
UCLA, man, full ride.
That's great. He ain't the first dad to have 3 kids to go a full ride to a school. He ain't the first dad to do that.
We're not talking about him being the first at anything. We're judging his moral character about doing it.
I'm not judging his moral character. I'm judging what are his motives behind what he's doing. Y'all seem to think that his
moral character.
You seem to think that his that's not moral character. I'm judging his motives, not his character. I don't care about his character. That's him. I think he's a good dude. I think he cares about his kids. Hold on a second. Let me finish. What do I think his motives are? It's LeVar Ball show. It's the LeVar Ball show. Let me pull my shirt off.
What does that entail?
Let me act ass on TV. For LeVar Ball and the brand for LeVar Ball. Not nothing about Lonzo. How is that making Lonzo better? Period.
But how does that take away from anyone? If that's in the family, if it's one family.
How does it take away? So
how does LeVar separating himself from the family?
Okay, so he had additional pressure to all of his kids. Like I said, the whole time. He had additional pressure. Not only hold on a second. All right, so let me go through them. Lonzo is going to the league. This is his first year in the league. He having automatically, not only do he got the number 2 pick pressure that already come. Let me finish, man.
You going to the league?
But you just asked me a question. Can I not?
You can walk outside and get struck by lightning. You have a better chance to get struck by lightning.
Can I not finish it? Can I not finish my answer?
Reggie, go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish, Reggie.
No, so you're talking about Lonzo Ball. He already got pressure. He already got pressure for being the number 2 pick. So you add additional pressure on top of that to succeed. If this man fails, you just added even more pressure onto your kid. As a father, that's not something that you do.
He's number 2.
Hold on a second. But he's making it harder for his son. That's not something that a father does.
A father don't in the league.
What you mean get in the league? I'm talking about now that he's in the league.
No. But he's in the league.
What? I'm not getting what you're saying.
He is in the league.
How many fathers out there got sons that are in the league? That they are
all the niggas that's in the league. Got fathers.
All the niggas in the league don't got fathers in their lives.
They got that. They might not be in their lives. I'm not. Once again, you going to morals. I'm not talking about his morals. I'm talking about his motives. Period.
Okay, so let me ask a question, right? So you're more concerned with he's trying to make this all about him, and he could care less. I won't agree with you 100%. Yes, I would say his ego is through the damn roof. I will say that.
Right.
I agree.
I don't agree with his ego but I get it. You braggadocious and all of that. I ain't for that. And yes, it does add pressure to his children. But there's supposed to be pressure. And you're supposed to pressure children to succeed.
Right.
And if you don't, and they don't, ain't nobody gonna look at it but you. Chris Rock said if the kid can't read, his mama father can't read because the lights ain't on, his daddy fault.
Right.
His daddy fault if he don't put the pressure on them to perform and get results.
I agree.
Now, if he's doing other stuff that's detracting from their performance and their results, I can roll with it.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Judge. And check your mic; it's crackling a little bit.
Let me roll into that point.
All right.
So, as a father, some of us got kids. If you go into if your child has a test the very next day, what sense does it make for you as a father to go to your child and say, "Hey, all right, I know you got this test, but you better do good. Hey, you got to do good on this. I'm telling you got to do good on this one. Don't fail. Don't F this one up. You got to do good on this." You don't want to add additional pressure on top of the pressure they already feeling.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would say,
but that's what he's doing.
That's
exactly what he's doing.
I would do that. I would do that as a father. Life is not easy. Life is not a cupcake.
So you gonna make it harder?
No, I'm not making it harder. I'm introducing you to the pressures of the world as a child. So as a man,
your child already know that. But if your child is already at a critical test, so we talk about the ACT. We talk about something that's important. Well, they gotta pass it. Why would you add additional pressure to your child by saying, "Hey man, you gotta get this"?
They gotta pass it because it's important. And they gotta pass
guys, let Tex say something. I know he said he got a point there to say. Let him jump in. Oh, we can't hear you.
I don't think we can hear him, man.
Your mic's out.
We can't hear. Hey, let me ask my question then.
Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead.
You think Ball? So you think Lonzo gonna fail in the NBA? You think he's not gonna be a great player?
I don't know. I think he's in the same spot that every other player that got drafted is. You don't know. But as a father, I got a son. I got a 6-year-old son. As a father, I'm not gonna go into him already having pressure of trying to succeed, trying to live up to this big baller brand, trying to be this number 2 pick that actually shows that he was warranted in being that number 2 pick. I'm not gonna go in and add additional pressure. That he know, and I know that he already got pressure. Why would I add additional pressure on top of that? Taking him to WWE, adding additional pressure. NBA players looking at him like, man,
I really think
this dude think he a star.
Oh, he is a star. It's not a whole process.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would look at it like this, right? So his goals for his kids ain't just to be regular, right? So, because I think about it, my mom did it to me. I went to a regular school and I took all the advanced classes, but she knew that my expectations need to be higher than what the people around me were putting on me, right? And you might have kids and you might, have the same thing. You might look at what they're doing and you might feel like, yeah, I know that you need to, like, your bar needs to be higher than the folks around you. And if you look at what he's done with his kids, like I think we need to separate motives from, because the thing is, in the background, he's preparing them for these situations as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest difference. Like, he not just arbitrarily like, hey, you need to do this, or, you're a failure and all that stuff. He's not bullying them. And if you look at their demeanor, I think that's the biggest difference. Like, people compare him to like the Kardashians and stuff like that. Them girls having breakdowns and insecurities and all this stuff. Them boys look cool as a cucumber.
Man, they love it.
But they just playing ball, and he's doing all the marketing. He's drawing all the attention. He's going out there acting a fool, and they just be themselves and play ball. And that's all they do.
And he's stopping those vultures. He's preventing those vultures from getting to him and taking their name.
Yeah. And also, like, the shoe deal and stuff like that, people kind of, it was funny and it was different. But I think that's the mindset you got to have, man. Like, as of right now, people are going to see him as a money ticket. Each of his sons, they're going to see him as a money ticket. They're going to make money off of him. And he's jumping out in front of the bandwagon. He's doing, all the marketing, all the publicity stunts and all that stuff. And he's got his brand that's going to soak up all the profit off of it. And they just play basketball. That's their only goal.
See, I think when people criticize LeVar Ball, people automatically take it as you are criticizing him morally for being a good father, for wanting the best for his kids. None of that. That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is motives. And anybody looking at this situation can see
No, not
his
not
motives are
anybody.
not about. But you just agree with Judge and what he said about how he has an ego, he uses that ego like he's overusing his ego. In my
What does
opinion,
an ego have to do with a motive? I mean,
What is motive?
that's what it is. That's what it's all about. His ego, feeding
So,
his ego.
so let me ask you this, Reggie. Do you think it's wrong that he's trying to maximize his son's talent? As
Do I think what?
you think it is wrong that he's trying to monetize his son's talent?
Absolutely not. I don't think he's trying to monetize his son's talent, just his son's talent. I think he's trying to monetize LeVar Ball. This is his 15 minutes of fame. Let me get my shine while I can.
Word is he talks about himself. He's egotistical. I think that's a personality thing. But every other word out of his mouth is about how great his sons are.
But every other interview ain't Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball. You got interviews with LeVar Ball by himself.
Well, I mean, people
LeVar Ball trying to go to these interviews.
I mean, he's like Judge. People love to hate him. So he gonna get on interviews and people gonna want to attack him personally, and he gonna have to defend himself and back up what he's saying. But at the end of the day, I don't think that his motives are malicious. I think that he really does want the best for his kids, money wise.
so are you mad at him because ESPN called Mr. LeVar? We would like you on the show tomorrow. Can you come? Yeah, I'll be there. Are you?
I'm not mad at all.
Pretty mad.
Are you angry?
You sound mad.
Are you angry? I mean, he's not asking to go on. You never asked to go on the show. You get invited to that show. So he's been invited, getting all this free publicity for his family. Free publicity.
For himself. That's where we disagree. You think that the publicity is for his family.
It's a family.
I think the publicity is for himself.
Okay, let me say this let me jump in real quick. Did you have a problem with Aisha Curry and that kid getting a lot of publicity when Steph and them was on that run 2 years ago?
No.
Because she got a TV show out the deal.
It wasn't warranted. It wasn't warranted as if she was attempting to gain publicity like LeVar Ball is for herself. She wasn't going into these interviews and stuff saying it's about me.
I think you're being fooled by the presentation. The goal is the same. Because I saw Aisha Curry on social media and her YouTube cooking channel. She been trying to get on. And the fact that Steph Curry is, a household name now, that's only helped her get on. She got a little cookware line and stuff like that, the dishes, and, she got a show popping and stuff like that.
But I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. I don't think anybody should have a problem with it.
Did she not say that the NBA is fake? After her husband lost last year, she said the playoffs are rigged. And her husband is a player in that sport. And she said they were rigged.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she's entitled to her opinion and emotions.
I'm getting to Reggie's point. I'm just saying.
But how does it tie into what we're talking about?
Because you're saying that LeVar Ball is obnoxious. He does things out of the way. I mean, this woman. She just said that the NBA. I'm not saying that I'm against what she said. I'm just saying though, you can't say that what she's doing is the same thing.
Let me tell Reggie something.
It's definitely the same thing.
Go ahead, Ed.
Tell him something.
When it's Amari turn and he finna get this soccer deal,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see you doing all this shit LeVar Ball was doing, okay?
You won't.
I'm gonna bring this shit up.
You absolutely won't.
Ball stores, trying to make up soccer shoes and all that.
No, you won't. You won't see it. You absolutely won't see it.
All right,
let me one more thing. Would you allow your son to sign away his name?
Would I allow him to do what?
Sign away his name for $2 million.
What you mean by signing away his name?
Essentially, when you sign most contracts you're signing away your name. where this big company Nike can use your name and your image for anything that they want to do because you signed a contract. Telling Nike that they own, you don't own nothing about yourself but the $9 million they gave you. You don't own your image because as soon as you mess up, they're snatching everything. And you don't own your name because you can't use your name for club appearances and things like that because your name is a brand now. It's not an individual. So
Okay, if you saying
your son to sell his name,
would I advise my son? Would I advise my son to be Tiger Woods? Absolutely. Absolutely. Any more questions?
You see what happened to Tiger Woods when his wife beat the front of his truck up? You see all the endorsements that he lost because he didn't own any of that?
Did he lose Nike?
Well, Nike suspended him.
Nope. Did he lose Nike?
New topic.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move on, fellas.
Yeah, we got a lot of topics to cover.
Today I ain't gonna agree with nobody, huh?
Hey, that's the name of the show, man.
I think it's you. It's not anybody else. It's just you.
Yeah, you the judge of the day, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Everybody
we need to get on. Religion or something.
Let's move on, fellas. Also notable was the all defensive first team that came out. Chris Paul, Patrick Beverly, Kawhi Leonard, and Draymond Green were the all defense first team. Anybody have a problem with that?
Who the center?
Oh, I'm sorry, Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
So
that's pretty solid to me.
Yeah. I don't think I had a problem.
Chris Paul, Patrick Beverly, and who?
Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green, and Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Chris Paul would have been in my pick, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, but I didn't watch much basketball this year.
Second team was
who would you take? Who would you take though over Chris Paul?
Second team was Tony Allen, Danny Green, Andre Roberson, Greek Freak, and Anthony Davis.
Tony Allen? I thought he was injured.
No, he played. He got hurt before playoffs.
Yeah, okay.
Right before playoffs.
Yeah, I think you can throw anybody on the team, really. I mean, nobody really just follows stats like that. So unless you got the stats in front of you, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, no, he didn't deserve to be there. Because I don't know what Chris Paul did.
Like I said, I didn't watch basketball. I watched the playoffs.
Chris Paul is free agent. He going to Houston next year.
All right, guys. Well, let's move along. Another big award show that happened this weekend. The BET Awards. There was a lot of drama. There was a lot of good performances. There was a lot of tension. So let's get right into it. First thing we'll talk about is before the award show, you have the red carpet. They had a great carpet. And you know how they have media there and they're interviewing all the celebrities and music acts and what have you. Complex has a show called Everyday Struggle, hosted by Joe Budden, DJ Academics, and Nadeska. They interviewed a bunch of people, and they previewed before that there was almost a fight, or there was a fight between Joe Budden and Amigos. This broke down after it all came out as Joe Budden. It looked when they showed the footage, it looked like Joe Budden got tired of waiting for the interview. He wanted to wrap it up. DJ Academics was taking too long to wrap it up. He dropped the mic and walked off the set. Migos threw their mics down, and they were looking like they was ready for a problem. It came out later that that's not entirely the whole story, and we'll get to that. I know some of you guys probably know about that, so I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and tell what y'all think about that issue and what happened.
All right, well, I guess I'll hop in with the. I first listened to Academics and his spiel on what he thought, or how he perceived the the interview. When you initially look at it, he kept asking Takeoff what, and it kind of looked like he was kind of mocking him, like because he's basically asking Takeoff about how he got left off of Bad and Bougie. Well, Takeoff was like, I didn't get, and academics kept saying what, and because we found out later that he just couldn't hear, but it looked like he was just being disrespectful to Takeoff answering his question. As he mentioned, it escalated. I actually listened to Joe's response afterwards, and what he was saying was that it was kind of a dry interview. The Migos are known as a group that don't really give very good interviews. And it just escalated. He thought they didn't want to be there, and so he felt some kind of way about it. I thought he was disrespectful in being the person that was interviewing, to just drop his mic on the ground and turn his back on him. Even if they were giving a bad interview, I feel like you as the interviewer sometimes have to be the bigger person, just realize you're dealing with characters who got their own thing going on.
Okay. So that's what I got out of it. I felt like Joe thought the Migos were being divas. And I guess I got something else. I guess previous report.
Yeah, you got another part.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Eddie. What you got?
You got to add the part about a part that was edited when one of the guys jumped in and said, hey, we squashed that beef and Joe ain't going to talk about Lil Yachty no more.
Right.
That's another part that was left out that had Joe irritated as well.
Right.
Tried to son him on the TV. Tried to son him during the interview. So
right.
That's another reason he was kind of irritated with the guys.
Right. And that kind of explained why he disrespected them, because the guy tried to disrespect him from jump by jumping into the interview and basically kind of punking him on TV or live in the interview.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do, but they actually edited it out.
Right.
So it didn't get shown. And I guess I heard earlier in the day, before all of the festivities, Joe went to the mall to get some socks. And that guy, I think his name was P or something like that. He one of the managers for that group that manages the Migos and Lil Yachty. And he confronted Joe, but it was more friendly. It was like, hey, man, what's up? They dapped up, they hugged it out or whatever. And he was like, yo, we need to chill on talking bad about Lil Yachty. And that's what Joe said. He came to him at the mall. When he saw him just randomly at the mall, that's what he said happened. So when he saw them again, because he didn't even recognize the guy, who he was at the mall until after he had introduced himself. But when he saw him again at the interview, that's when he tried to throw in his 2 cents while they were filming. So it was some other things that happened along there that had Joe like he was just tired of it. He didn't want to deal with the shit no more. But
yeah, I think the bigger question is, how did they edit it? Like, why would the person edit it in that manner when they initially put the video out? It seems like they was kind of trying to draw that drama.
I think Complex was looking for some views,
right?
And they got them of
right.
Yeah, about that.
They got them.
They did a good job.
Right.
All right. So Migos also had another altercation during the night with Chris Brown. Apparently Chris Brown and Quavo aren't cool. And
Quavo dated his girl, man.
Right.
Yeah. So Quavo's dating Chris Brown's ex-girlfriend. Yeah. So there was a scuffle there. Didn't look like Chris Brown was too fazed by it. He was just sitting on the car. Security was trying to, keep all those other guys back. It just looked like a big mess, really.
The biggest question is Chris Brown, man. Like, how do you get this emotional over the air chick you kiss? This dude is like unreal, man. Like, you didn't beef with every dude in the industry over one of your old chicks. Not nobody you date, somebody you dated.
Yeah, I don't know what she did to that man, but
not just her. Everybody he dated. Well, everybody that we know of. It's the same scenario. Is Eddie still on here?
He just fell off, but I'm sure he'll be back on.
Oh,
Okay, he's a Chris Brown fan. I'm curious as to.
Well, I
It might be principle. It may
Might
be
be who?
principle. It might be based off of principle where, he might have been cool with the Migos, or more, I should say, with Quavo, and he probably felt like that, man, you might have been plotting and trying to get with her for a while. And knowing that, what I'm saying, he breaks up with her, he done make songs about her, he, already got a restraining order, against him from her. And now, what I'm saying, you slide in on that, it makes he probably feel like it made him suspect.
Yeah,
right.
that's a good point. I didn't think about that, but I think Chris Brown and Quavo was cool.
No. I read an article. Quavo was like, I met the cat, but we ain't never hung out. They
Ah,
met in a setting, but they ain't never. I mean, you think about it. Quavo and Loud, man. Chris
have
Brown
they done songs together? I'm not sure if they've done songs. We need Ed. We need Ed back on here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nah, they haven't done nothing together that I know of.
Quavo was like, but think about Chris Brown when who that was? Who was the guy? Drake. Drake is in the club, right? Drake on the other side of the club. Chris Brown sent him a bottle. Drake sent the bottle back to Chris Brown and write a note said, I'm still hitting Rihanna.
What?
And then I think after that, that's when Chris Brown throws the bottle across the club or something like that. And then they about to get into their team's about to get into altercation, but it was stopped. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I remember that was a few years
Yeah, I
ago.
remember that very well.
But Chris
Dang,
sent
I'm
the
about to
bottle-
loot, man.
He sent the bottle back with a note saying, I'm still hitting Rihanna.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that story, but I remember the altercation.
Hey, if that happened, you can't let nobody lighter than you punk you like that, man. You Chris Brown, you got to handle that, man.
But hey,
You
why
got to do something.
send that bottle?
Chris Bryant going to handle him. His entourage is going to handle him. As you see now, people entourages are fighting for them, especially if you already got a case against you or you're on probation. You know what I'm saying? Like Meek Mills, soon he hopped out of that black Suburban. Hey, Safari already, what I'm saying, had a squad up and he up here running because this Meek Mill, entourage is chasing him down the street.
Thing,
Combo.
that was so
And he's
weak,
still
man.
breaking in the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
If
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
smart,
Like,
Big Bill weak, man. Like, why would you? And he's not even with the chick. It's like, why you still trying to get at this man over a chick that you snitched on him and took from him, kind of sort of.
well, I mean, is it really about the chick, or did Safari do something directly to disrespect him?
Nah, man.
I think we assume it's always over the chicks, but at a certain point, if another man do something that's blatantly disrespectful to you, and that's how you get down, then you're gonna do that.
Based on everything that came out, it was that Meek Mill had hung out with Safari at a party, well, met Safari at a party, and just casual men talk. We were talking about another chick or whatever. So Meek went back and told old girl that. Then he got with her.
Oh yeah, Meek was snitching for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing that.
He kept
I remember that.
start talking about the guy once he get with the girl.
Hey,
About him.
Hey, I blame Safari for that though. You can't hang around nobody that want what you got that bad. And Meek Mill done made it known he been drooling and dreaming about Nicki since she got on the scene.
Well, I was gonna say about Karuchi. I think I told Renard this earlier today. I think Karuchi got that Erykah Badu. That's why that nigga tripping. She got that Erykah Badu and that nigga tripping.
I think Chris Brown, man, just sick. He bipolar, he's sick,
boy.
man, and he's possessive, man. And he that little kid at preschool that don't want nobody to play with this spot truck, even though it's not his, it's a school spot.
I don't know, man. If she got that Erykah Badu, you be out there fighting too.
I doubt it.
Wait, Reggie, what's that Erykah Badu? Man? What is that?
I doubt that.
If our listeners don't know what that Erykah Badu is, they don't need to know.
I do think Rihanna got that Erykah Badu, though.
She probably do too.
Hey, shoot, Rihanna, she got to be doing something to these guys, man.
Man,
All right, so
Got to be.
next topic, Remy Ma. She won Best Female Rapper of the Year. And she took another shot at Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was in New York.
So what's she say?
Prepping for the NBA awards. She actually performed there. Uh, Remy, she spit a acapella freestyle, and she was going at Nicki. Tough. It was dope. I like it.
I give her A for effort. She in the light now. Kids that never knew who she was are asking, "Who's that old lady?" But she taking advantage of her time in the spotlight. Yeah, you know, she taking advantage of her time in the spotlight. She trying to milk it for all it's worth. I give her kudos. I don't know, man. That's her only claim to fame right now is beefing with Nicki.
So you on team Nicki Minaj?
She has a double platinum.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not team Nicki. That I don't know. Remy Ma ain't mainstream. She ain't pop. Like Nicki is pop. That's like going against Drake. Drake ain't rap. Drake ain't hip hop. He's pop.
See, I'm about these bars. So when you talking about rapping, you got to come with these bars. And
You old school.
Remy Ma came with them bars at Nicki Minaj. I don't want to hear nothing Nicki got to say until she respond.
Hey,
it was blatant disrespect.
Hey, and see, the thing is, so what I've come to realize is that we old school with that mindset. We in the minority right now, because right now they want Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi and all these guys who just got a beat that make them feel good. They can bob their head to. Kids dancing now. You know, rap ain't never been nothing to dance to really, unless you was out there with Uncle Luke and them. You know,
in the 80s and 90s, rap was definitely dancing.
Say what now?
80s and the early 90s, it definitely was dancing.
Well, yeah, that's true. But man, I mean, we kind of, I don't know, the kids nowadays, man, they looking for the next dance move, man. They want to dab and, you know.
Man, I think Nicki responding to Remy would be like Jordan back in the day responding to Harold Miner being the next Jordan. It just ain't even on the same. It don't benefit her none to even go there. For one, she don't got the bars that Remy got. So trying to play a bar game, trying to play a bar game probably just ain't gonna end well for her. And then sometimes you just got in battles. Sometimes you just got one person just has that side. Period. No matter what they do. Like for instance, with the Drake and the Meek Mill thing. At the point that Drake was at, it would have been hard for Meek to even get into the battle because people had already gotten that perception of Drake has won this. It's over. It's hard to come off of that. Sometimes people just already have a favorite going into it, and it's just hard to get over.
So you think they're at a point to where they couldn't lose unless they respond?
Absolutely. Like, I think Nicki was at a point in that battle. I think she was at a point where it didn't benefit her to try to respond.
She responded, but it was whack.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to it.
Hey, but it was on the top. It was one of the top singles though. I think the strategy is, like I say, I think is different because, you know, Remy Ma can do whatever she does. She releases her stuff, and it go up on SoundCloud or something like that.
No,
YouTube.
Remy is a double platinum artist, brother.
Her diss record wasn't double platinum. That's what I'm saying.
Her last single went double platinum.
Her single was, but the
diss record it was an actual diss record. You know, it was a song.
But she had some shots at. But as far as Nicki goes, that's all she's gonna do as far as a diss record. Basically, what I'm saying is like they strategy, and Drake kind of, you know, showed you what they're gonna do. They're gonna take what you do, your little beef or whatever, and they're gonna make a hit record off of it. And at that point, it's like you got, you know, at that point, it's about who all is gonna hear whatever you got to say, and the audience that Nicki and you know them guys got, they fan base gonna feel like they won.
Yeah, I feel like that with Joe Budden when he went at Drake, he destroyed him, but Drake never responded because he didn't want to. He didn't have to.
Right.
He didn't lose any
Nah.
fans for it, and he's still Drake. He's
Right.
still,
No,
he's
they
still
pop,
just
man.
hosted the NBA award.
Yeah, they pop.
Man, that's,
They,
you got
they
Joe Budden, man. He doesn't have a true fan base to leave and listen to whatever he putting out.
No,
Nah.
he has a fan base.
Well,
It's just not near as big as Drake.
Yeah, it's just like he said, I got a fan base. Shit.
Right, well, that's the same thing with Remy though. In
Yeah,
that
I think
situation,
it's the same
so
space. I think it's the same.
it didn't benefit Nicki. Right, didn't benefit Nicki. But I'll say this though, and I mentioned it earlier. I'll say this, and I know y'all not gonna agree, but that's the name of the show. But everybody is focused on. I said this in the group meeting earlier. Everybody's focused on the Nicki and Remy going back and forth. But I keep telling people to watch out for, and y'all gonna clown, but I'm telling you, she's starting to making. Watch out for Cardi B. The chick has got those ratchet chicks on her side. And once you do that, if you can swing it a little bit to where you can get a little bit more mainstream, just add a touch of mainstream in there. And I think the chick's a star, man. I think she got it. I think she on that next level.
Cardi's gonna be so, man.
That's because she fine.
She got the right.
Period. That's it.
And she's from the streets too. You know, she's from the streets.
Right. Right.
She got a lot of appeal. You know, you got
She's fine.
and one of these street chicks that will appeal to Cardi. Like Nicki came out. Folks followed Nicki because of the team she had.
Because she fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And that too. That's what I look at.
Right.
like Nicki got folks' attention because she was fine, but folks paid attention to what she was saying because of the team that was behind her.
And also her booty implants.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, when has a booty ever made you pay attention to what somebody's saying? That ain't never done that.
I'm looking for the right word.
That ain't never done that. That do the opposite. I'm telling you, man, if she wasn't with Young Money, nobody would ever have taken her rap seriously. Like that's what made people pay attention to her raps. And like, oh, she actually got something to say, or she can flow, or whatever, even if it's written or whatever, you know.
That's the body Birdman built, bro.
Exactly.
Chuck, we lost the video, but let's move along. Also, we had Leslie Jones hosting the show. I didn't actually get a chance to watch the whole BET Award, so I didn't get a chance, but I did hear that she wasn't that great of a host.
She was just.
She's not funny, man.
Oh man,
She not funny. I don't know what else to say.
It's Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
She's a skit artist. She can do skits.
Right.
And the skits ain't funny.
SNL fame.
I would just say it's just I think she was deserving because she's had a long career. You know, and she's kind of been waiting for that moment to get to this point. I don't think she really did it, as we all agree. I don't think she really took advantage of that moment. But I think she was deserving of that moment because I mean I can remember her from way back when they showed her clips of it, but when she was on Comic View, way back in the day. So she's been grinding for a long time. She was deserving of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think she really. I mean, they didn't even put the chick in no different outfits. Like, she had the first outfit on, and then after that, she had that same red body, whatever it was, on the entire time. I was like, come on, now you got to at least have some multiple outfits or something.
You know, she had another thing where that nobody wanted to dress her at another award show. I think it was the Academy Awards or something like that. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
it was something like that.
The Golden Globes, when she couldn't get anybody to offer her to dress her. So she definitely paid her dues, and not everybody is a great host. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of great talents that are bomb hosting.
Yeah, she just kind of obnoxious, man. That's her thing. She kind of raunchy, and that ain't funny, to black folks anyway.
Well, and I think if you're not funny, you at least got to have a look. and
Exactly.
she ain't the looker at all. So it makes it even tougher.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope this show don't get real big and she come on the show, man, and she watch the episode.
Hey,
I bet
I
her.
wanted to go head up with Reggie.
hey, what's she gonna do? Argue with the fact that she ain't a looker? How's she gonna do that?
Anyway, moving on. Also notable performances in the show. Escape came back together. You know, they did a medley of, all their hits. I used to like Escape growing up. My mom used to play it all the time. New Edition, they came back together, and with the, they biopic, they had those guys come on stage and they were doing songs. And it was a good look for New Edition. I think they deserved it, especially after seeing the biopic. They went through a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad that BET is paying homage, man, to our fallen kings and queens out there.
So
Get
the
back.
other thing, they paid homage to Prodigy of Mobb Deep recently passed. We talked about that last week, I believe. But there were some people who didn't like how they paid homage to Prodigy. They thought it was really a small kind of segment, and they didn't have anybody doing much for him. And Master P actually had an issue with that. He released a video, and he said, why don't we, give our people their flowers when they still here? And he said that they could have done something for Prodigy and had, other people do some Mobb Deep songs. And I don't know what you guys think. I think personally, Mobb Deep is a very big group as far
Iconic.
as hip hop goes and what they brought to hip hop. So, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if they were that big. And do you think that had a kind of play on how BET actually handled his death?
I don't know. BT kind of.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball several times when it comes to, honoring black artists and stuff like that. I mean, till you die, they don't care about you, man.
that's true. And I think BET done got away from really honoring, music artists, period. And it's remember, the early years of BET where they used to play music videos. Now, you tell me when they play music videos on BET. They don't. Everything's reality series or nature. And I think that's a shame because we got so many people, black people, that contribute to music, not just rap, but from everything from blues to R&B to whatever the case may be. And and the younger generation need to be educated, by it, and not just to see it on WC or another network, but by BET. Um, and they contribute to Prodigy and did that little segment. I felt like that was good, but I feel like there's other artists they need to contribute to also. I think they might did maybe Fight Dog from Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did something for
But
him at
I feel
another.
like,
They had a whole
I
segment.
don't know BT did or not.
I think I don't think BET's been quite the same since Bob Johnson stepped down. It's been a little different.
Sold out.
I mean, that might be the case. It might be the case, but the product hadn't been the same. Whether he sold out, or not, the product been quite the same since. As far as the thing for Prodigy, I mean, I think people that enjoy hip hop more. But when you're talking about views and having people watch the show, I don't think a lot of people really, a lot of the younger cats wouldn't have known who Prodigy was, and I don't know if that was the setting to kind of try to show who Prodigy is or who he was. I was actually more upset with the Charlie Murphy tribute. They kind of said about 20 seconds of, Charlie Murphy is no longer here with us, and that was pretty much it. I thought maybe they could have played some clips from the past or got some, rights to some clips or something for Charlie, because he had a much more widespread.
I didn't see that. But I would have had a problem with that too. And it just so happened Power just came on, and Charlie Murphy's in Power, and he's visibly lost a lot of weight, and this is the last thing he's done apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Charlie Murphy, man. He's a great.
If you're young, you would have missed
battles. You gotta pick and choose your battles. You can't give shots out to everybody all the time. In that case, we'll be giving shots out all night, man. So
BET Awards was 4 hours, man.
Say that's fighting a lot of battles that night, huh?
Hey man, hold on. Prodigy just died like a few days ago, right before the BET Awards.
He died 2 weeks ago.
Like right before the BET Award, I mean.
Yeah, true.
They not finna change the whole show up for Prodigy. Just being honest. I know he's your friend and mine, but he's not that important to everybody else.
That's what folks got a problem with.
Well, don't have a problem with that. Everybody that's listening to me ain't 40 years old. Right. About 30 and up. It's just
They switched up the show for Prince though, because Prince was a bigger artist.
Prince is an international icon. Yes, Prodigy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Prince went over 4 generations, man.
So let's not cry about. And I'm not saying you guys, but let's not cry about Prodigy. Yeah, we hate he gone, but when nobody think about Prodigy 2 days ago, before he died. So let's not act like Prodigy was on our list for the longest.
I didn't know who he was.
Thank you. Who the hell? It ain't on.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Well, I know who he was. I'm just saying, I didn't know he went to jail or none of that.
Who cares?
I care.
This guy.
I care.
We know.
Joe and Master P care.
Yeah, I definitely think that
Master P man, because BET ain't did an award, did a
lifetime achievement.
Yeah. Now, granted, he could take it. Anybody needs one as him.
He deserves it.
Yeah,
but,
you do.
But ain't nobody thinking about Master P, man. I mean,
and I wasn't a fan of Master P, and I think he deserved it.
I agree. He do.
Yeah, he was a businessman.
Yeah.
Not business, but business.
Yeah. All right, so let's run through a couple of these notable awards they gave out. Best group, the Migos got that. I don't know how.
Absolutely.
They're the only group. Shit.
Yeah, I don't say ain't nobody else, man.
Oh, come on off it, man. This was best group overall.
There's nobody else on that
level. What's another group?
Ray Schmurder, Ray, whatever.
Oh yeah, Ray Schmurder.
They don't deserve it over the Migos. They ain't been.
It's argumentative. That record, Black Beetle was the biggest song of the year. They had everybody
singular.
The Mannequin Challenge.
Singular.
You could also put
that's a social media
too,
stunt. That ain't got nothing to do with music, though.
Was a huge song too. I'll give you that. It was a huge song.
Like the Migos, I got to give it to them, man. As a group, they've been smashing it. But also individually, man, they've been doing stuff as a group and individually as well, especially Quavo. And they still seem to be pretty tight.
Man, what the hell has Takeoff done individually?
Yeah, that's the only one you can.
Takeoff is the meme king, man. You seen the memes?
No.
Takeoff is the best one in the group.
He the what?
Takeoff is the best one in the group.
I don't know. I can't argue.
He's the most lyrical.
Quavo get all the time though.
Quavo is the star.
For back a better word, he's the most lyrical one.
It ain't hard to be in that group. It's not hard to be lyrical in that group.
Exactly.
Now, Takeoff, Offset is the lyrical one. Offset got the lyrics. Takeoff has the cadence.
By the way,
his cadence is like
all the watchers, Nino is the hugest
Team
Migos fan of all time. He will argue up and down. He might even say Migos is a bigger act than Jay-Z if you give him the opportunity.
If I had to pick a show to go to, I'd go to the Migos over Jay-Z.
Stop it.
All right. I'm not a huge Jay-Z fan.
Best male R&B act went to Bruno Mars.
Obviously. Had to.
wouldn't-
I mean,
wouldn't argue
you don't.
that.
It don't get any better than Bruno Mars. Man.
Had to.
You got
Right,
James
for
Brown, Michael Jackson, then you got Bruno Mars. There's a gap in that order.
Hey,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
look, as
I'm
David.
talking about performances. I'm not talking about songs.
No, he
gonna
talking
do
about
it.
me. He talking about me.
No, I'm talking about both of y'all. I'm not gonna do it.
Look, as
You
David
don't
Allen
think
Greer.
Bruno Mars is a great performer?
Yeah, what they gotta do with anything?
That's all I said.
He ain't in Bruno Mars don't show up until 50 other people.
He don't show up for what?
Huh?
The way you just did that list, he don't show up before 50 other people.
As far as best
Who?
performers, I'm not talking
Yeah.
about best singer. I ain't talking
Performance.
about a performance, bro.
Yeah, performance.
Dude sold out.
Who's doing a better performance that's relevant right now than Bruno Mars?
I ain't talking about today. He just.
What,
I-
The
Yeah.
awards is talking about
Yeah.
today though.
Oh yeah. Agreed. Today,
Yeah.
yeah, Bruno Mars beating everybody by a long shot.
Oh no, Chris Brown could give him a run.
No.
He too busy being drunk and high and chasing
Performance
careers.
wise, he could.
No.
He could if he was focused.
In the R&B hip hop realm, yes.
A performance is everything, bro.
Uh-huh.
The delivery is everything.
The real
All right.
realm.
Man, I already told y'all. Bruno Mars.
We're not doing it.
Different white folks.
We're not doing it.
We had this argument last week. We not bringing this back up.
We're not dating us.
Best actress was won by Taraji P. Henson.
Boy, roll.
Was she the best black actress overall last year? Was she?
Other than the one that always win the Oscars, yeah.
I think Viola Davis should have been best actress.
That's what I'm talking about. She always win the Oscars, so they let her have it. That's right.
Yeah, I think Viola definitely is a better actress than Taraji.
Let her have it.
Hey, her snot production is definitely at a higher level than Taraji's.
I don't know about that, man. Because you got to think about the mindset you got to be in to play a role. And she was actually mentioning this. Taraji was the mindset of going into the Cookie character.
Oh man.
All that.
How many cookies I know?
Hold on. I'm saying for a person that's not Cookie to go into the role of Cookie and have to
She's
play
Cookie.
that role over and over.
Taraji
She's
ain't
not
Cookie?
Absolutely. All
Taraji
right, so
Cookie, bro.
we can't debate this because there's an article from Taraji saying that she is not Cookie.
Bro,
She a little biased, though.
Hold on a second. There's an article where Taraji says, "I am tired of this role because I am not Cookie. It's hard to keep going to that place." That's what she said. So if y'all want to argue me,
left there already.
we are gonna brick wall because that's what she said.
Hey, look, well, she ain't got to be Cookie. She can just be the mama from Baby Boy, and she still be Cookie.
Exactly. She's been on that role her whole career. She just
Yeah,
said she won't grow. She wants something else.
Yeah, that's the only difference
she's
between the
already
mama
done
from
something
Baby
else. She
Boy. The only difference between the mama from Baby Boy and Cookie is that Cookie's surrounded by gay niggas. That's the only difference.
Oh, wow.
But she already.
Wow.
But
Nobody agrees with him, everybody. Nobody agrees.
Let me say
But
something.
she's already.
Wait, time out before you fit. We at All Sides Media. That opinion that was just stated is not what we are about in any way. That is not our
It's a fact.
our corporate opinion.
Everything.
Go ahead.
Have y'all watched Empire?
We talk to him all the time, man.
No,
We
we
don't
haven't.
watch Empire.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, we don't talk about why.
But I got a question though. This one chick, what's the show that used to come on BET? Darn football player, or whatever.
Oh,
The
game.
Game.
The game.
Okay. You follow me? The mama, his mama, right?
What
Mhm.
about it?
You remember when the game was hot? Everybody was talking about the game. Everybody was watching the game at first. You know, about the second or third episode, right?
About the
Yeah,
first
before,
season.
before it went to BET. Yeah.
Everybody was on the mama. They liked her. You know, they thought she was like, she was, Tell me one role y'all seen her in since then. As popular the show was, as good as she played that part, what movie? What have you ever seen her in a movie where she was like a sad person? I'm just saying, like a.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I hadn't
you only seen her on Steve Harvey show and then the game.
She was on
That's it.
Steve Harvey show, and she was on the game.
same role, kind of, sort of though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
same role.
Yeah, she definitely been
So
typecast.
how does that tie into Tarati?
Yeah, what they got to do with that?
All she's saying is she's not trying to be typecast anymore. She's want to play more and more parts. You know
She already
got
had.
paid? No, you know
Yeah,
what
she
got paid
did
though?
Hidden Figures.
For Benjamin Buttons. Okay, yeah, that was after the role she has now though. For Benjamin Buttons, bro, she got paid like $300,000 for Benjamin Buttons. Where dude got paid, where Brad Pitt got paid like $8-9 million. That's just for the show, not including residuals. She only got paid like $300,000 plus she had to pay for her room and board when they were filming in New Orleans.
I don't have a problem with that.
But I mean that
Tarati's not Brad Pitt.
No, she was the lowest. Did you watch the movie?
No.
She had a big part in that movie.
Yeah, she was his.
Okay, but she's not Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I mean nobody watching Benjamin Button for anything other than Brad Pitt. I mean, I'm sorry, that's.
It's not that though, man. What I'm saying is she's evolving as an individual.
Yeah.
So what she's saying is she's trying to keep going. She's not trying to get stuck and
Right.
typecast as a certain type of individual. Now,
Right.
she's not saying that she doesn't know how to play an individual, but that's not her. She didn't come from that. She just tired of doing what she's doing.
Right.
All right.
Well,
Well,
she
we
might
can
be a
put the
high
interview.
paid old lot. If she become 50, 60, she probably be getting paid. Right now, she cooking.
She cooking.
I'm just going off her word where she said she's not Cookie. That's not who she is. So all I can take is for her word. If she wrong on her word, then it is what it is.
Hell, I wouldn't claim Cookie either.
Nah, I wouldn't blame her either, man. After seeing her performance of Cookie, it's kind of hard. It'll be hard seeing her in another role, like fresh, like right now, something like I'm trying to think of a deep role, like a space, not a space role or something. You know, like what's the Interstellar? You couldn't see her in Interstellar.
No. But I mean, I think that's what a lot of our actors, they try to typecast us and put us into specific roles.
They do it all the time, man.
There you go.
This guy, man.
All the time.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got the video of the year. Went to, looks like it got 2 different awards. What the hell is this? It says Sorry or 24 Karat Magic. I'm not sure which one won.
I don't know either of those anyway.
No, Beyonce won that.
Yeah.
They may have had like male category and female category.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry won that. And it looks like Chance the Rapper won for a humanitarian award. And he also won for Best New Artist. He had a really good speech. I don't think anybody was going to beat Chance.
I think the hype is kind of overblown with Chance. I mean, he getting a lot of hype, man. It's a lot of cats out there doing exactly what he doing. But I think
Name one.
Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle is doing exactly what Chance.
You just threw a name out there. God damn.
I don't know what Chance is doing.
You asked for a name. Nipsey is doing the exact same thing that Chance is doing.
Now, what's the name?
What Chance doing? What they doing?
What's the name of Nipsey?
What they doing?
What's the name of Nipsey last album?
I'm lost.
I don't know. I don't listen to Nipsey.
Okay.
I don't listen to Chance.
Chance won a Grammy, dude.
So,
I don't listen to him. You asked me what the name of his album was. I don't listen to him. Either one of them.
He won a Grammy, and his name was album was Colors. Nipsey Hussle, I don't even know. I only know a mixtape he came out with.
Okay. Humanitarian award. Him winning the Grammy ain't got nothing to do with the humanitarian award.
It's exposure, though. You have to. I mean, for
what did he do to get the humanitarian award? I'm sorry, I missed it. I don't pay attention.
He had an outreach program to Chicago schools. He donated $1 million to Chicago's education system once funding got cut this past year once Trump took office. So some funding got cut, and he donated $1 million. He's also
that's enough. It's good.
Done a lot of charity work and whatnot.
That's the same thing that Nipsey Hussle is doing. He just don't have that exposure as Charles was saying.
That's what
because
I'm saying.
he don't. But he don't have the reason he don't have that exposure is because he don't fit that typecast to try to put us in my opinion.
I got you.
That's the good.
That's pretty dope, though, man. I didn't know that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Well, where's he? I thought he was from Cali, man.
He's from Crenshaw.
Yeah. What do we? He was donating to Chicago.
What's that?
You say he made a donation to Chicago schools?
No, that was
Oh no, they was talking about
that was
Chance.
Chance that did that.
Oh,
Okay.
man, I thought you were saying Nipsey Hussle did that.
No. Chance did that.
We actually, what did Nipsey Hussle do?
They didn't ask me. He asked Judge, or Judge asked, and Joe mentioned about Chance.
Judge, who were you referring to, Nipsey Hussle or Chance?
I was referring to both of them. What the hell both of them doing? I don't know.
And Joe was just answering about Chance.
Yeah, I don't know what Nipsey did.
Yeah, what has Nipsey
So
done,
Nipsey,
you mentioned it.
Nipsey actually has a. I was looking at the Breakfast Club and
I had to
this
go
morning.
to the right.
No. I was listening to the. I'm trying. No. I'm trying to mention the. I can't remember the girl's name. She was on the Breakfast Club this morning. Nipsey Hussle has a program that they're doing this weekend, and she was saying I think her name was. What was the chick name this morning?
I got you, but you said he should have got that.
But he's got a program for little. He's got a program for boys that he's doing. He's opened up businesses in Crenshaw. What I'm telling you is, regardless of how much he's done, you ain't gonna know about it because nobody talks about it because he ain't that stereotypical nice guy.
He ain't mainstream.
But dude, yeah, he ain't the mainstream type of dude that fits that narrative. He kind of rough around the edges.
Okay.
Hey man,
So-
player fly. He spent a lot of time in the Boys and Girls Club.
Stop it.
This dude tripping, man.
So the
I knew
best movie was won by Hidden Figure.
Shout out player fly.
And best actor was won by Mahershala Ali, who's making big waves this past year and a half.
That's the African guy.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali.
Got out guy, or the guy that was James Brown.
No.
He was James Brown, Jackie Robinson.
No, that's Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, okay. He
Mahershala
played like
Ali is from. He was in Hidden Colors. He was in Luke Cage as Cottonmouth. He was in
Moonlight. The Moonlight guy.
Moonlight as well. So he's been doing a lot of things. He's been in a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, he's gonna be in this Jay-Z visual thing.
Was that the dude that died in Moonlight?
Huh?
I didn't watch Moonlight.
The dude that died in Moonlight?
I didn't watch Moonlight, but possibly.
Don't support black. Support black.
Support black.
Yeah.
I just saw Get Out.
Get Out.
Best collaboration album went to Chance and Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz with No Problems. Let's see. Best female pop artist went to Beyonce. Best female athlete, sportsman of the year, Serena Williams. And Kendrick Lamar got the best hip hop artist of the year.
Okay.
So that pretty much wrapped up the BET Awards. I mean, that's all the hot points. Let's move on, fellas. Talk a little bit about something a little more serious. This travel ban that President Trump has been trying to push since he got in office, actually since before he got in office. But it has been partially reinstated by the Supreme Court, and what it allows is for the ban to be applied to people who aren't citizens of the U.S., who are coming from abroad, who have no family living in the U.S., so they don't have no contacts in the U.S. So those people are banned from entering the U.S. And the countries that are part of that ban bars people from Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen from entering the U.S. for 90 days outside of a bona fide relationship. What do you guys think about this partial ban, and do you think the full ban is going to be implemented eventually, or is it just all going to be put out?
It could possibly be a full gonna come up eventually. Not everything, but I think it's going to be small bits and pieces and then revisions. Oftentimes, it's a death by 1,000 cuts. You let a little bit happen now and see what the backlash is going to be from the public. How the people going to react? And we ain't gonna say nothing. They gonna do nothing, and they gonna add a little bit more. And add a little bit more, and next you know the whole thing is there. And they're gonna say, "See, happening, and didn't nothing change," and we're gonna go back our merry way.
I don't think I initially I was kind of on the side of not wanting to see the ban go through. But as time has gone on and I've kind of seen more and read more regarding it, I don't really. I think it was kind of a more of a media thing where it was kind of propped up as this anti-Muslim or anti-Islam type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's actually what it is. I just think it's the person that's delivering it that is causing it to be seen that way.
So what do you think about the countries that are affected by this? I mean, looking at the list of the countries, they are all majority Muslim in their religious practice for those countries. What's the point? Do we know that there are terrorist cells there? What are we doing? Is my only question. I actually don't have a problem with the ban on face value, just because none of those places are tourist destinations for me, and I don't know anybody in those countries personally, so it isn't going to affect me one way or the other personally. But if there are people in the United States or in those countries that want to come to the United States and they have legitimate business to come to the United States, they won't be able to, and that could be I mean, that's a problem to me. It's not a problem for me, but if it was you, the shoe was on the other foot, would that be an issue for you? If you was a Iranian kid and you wanted to come to America for opportunity, now you can't.
Right.
That's directed at me.
That's directed at anybody.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go. No.
Well, I don't really. I'm not the biggest Trump supporter, but I'm not that opposed to the ban.
See,
to parts of the ban. I think that I do think that there should be more regulations of individuals coming into the country. Being here, I should say what countries, just handpicking, pointing out a country and saying, this country can't come in or out based on these. I think all the way around there should be, tighter. There should be tighter things in place. As we see here in the last couple of months, terrorism comes, terrorism is all over.
Yeah, I just think you.
London, Paris, you said something.
Yeah, I just think you just can't, just allow just any country just to come over. There has to be some type of regulations when it comes to just entering the country. And I know there are protocols in place there is, but I don't have an issue with the president making steps to prevent terrorism from happening in this country. I mean, it's easy when it hasn't happened to have some type of view about it, but then once something happens, then that's when people start asking questions about, well, why you didn't take certain positions to stop this from happening.
Let me ask you this, or let me pose this. The terrorist acts, and United States by and large doesn't have very many terrorist acts against them on our soil, but the terrorist acts that do occur on U.S. soil are usually from U.S. citizens. So
Right.
who are we protecting with that ban?
Well, so you can say that most of our terrorism is homegrown terrorism, but just because that's what is currently happening doesn't mean you shouldn't take the precautions to prevent someone from coming over to commit an act of terrorism. That doesn't mean that there aren't people who are attempting to make the trip over to commit acts of terrorism.
Okay, I get that. So then I say, what caused that? What causes the alarm to be set off to disallow those countries?
Well, I can't say exactly what. Well, actually, I can say because there were initially there were red flags drawn up by the Obama administration about those particular countries that are listed on the ban. And you know, I do understand that Trump tries to use it as as political in reasoning, but I think if Obama was bringing it up as having issues with those particular countries, then you know it might be something that's that would make it more of a red flag and a reasoning for us to actually put those specific countries into that ban.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with if there's an issue, and I would imagine for those companies to be, I mean, those countries to be labeled and, you know, kind of labeled, called out that there is a known issue there with them and us. And I don't know if that's been called out and put out to the public, like if something that the world need to know.
Well, I don't think so.
First of all, I mentioned earlier death by 1,000 cuts. I mean that they're giving you a small taste of something, and you don't know you don't like it. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what you see. You ask the question, why? What is it that they've done? The explanation that you get from everyone is, well, we need to figure out a better way to vet people.
Yeah.
That's the problem. How do we go? What is our process for screening people coming into the States?
Yep.
We need to improve that. That's the narrative they're giving you. And while they're giving you that narrative, they're giving you their response to it or their remedy. And the remedy is the problem. That's a terrible ass remedy. That you're not doing what you're supposed to do following your procedures. Okay? First do that. Then come and tell us what in your procedures that the holes are at. Don't say, oh, well, you're sick. Here's the remedy. We got a fix for that. And the symptoms they're missing. So don't let them tell you that and fool you into thinking, oh, well, I'm okay with a ban. I'm kind of okay with a little bit of it. Because if you're okay with a little bit of it, then next thing you know, well, I'm okay with what they're doing this year. And next thing you know, that whole damn travel ban is in place. And what they're trying to do is ban more Muslims from coming into the country, not trying to ban the people and the terroristic threat. They're banning the Muslim threat.
I agree.
So don't get the two confused, because the least amount of Muslims you allow in the country is the least amount of Muslims in the country.
I don't agree.
The least amount of Muslims that are in the country, because most Muslims that are coming into this country are coming in through immigration. They're not homegrown here. It's not like Christianity that's homegrown here. Muslims aren't homegrown here. Now, what about that you don't agree?
Well, for one, there are millions of Muslims in the United States, so I don't agree on that.
How did they get here?
I don't know.
That's my point. You don't know, and I do. You got to know something if you don't not agree now. Come on, man. You got to know something if you ain't going to agree now.
You act like Muslims just started coming recently.
No. The point I'm making is they're not native here, meaning the religion isn't native here. Most of the Muslims.
So ain't no Muslim kids here.
No. What I'm saying is the majority of the Muslims that are here through immigration. That's just fact.
I agree.
That's like saying the majority of Hispanics that are here are through immigration.
No.
We know that. I mean, that's obvious.
No. Let's not confuse the two.
But they having kids.
But here's the thing. Do you know how many that are coming from those particular countries that are coming into the United States? Do you know how many are actually coming in? You don't know.
Why would I know that?
Because if you're going to have an opinion about something, first be knowledgeable of the situation. Otherwise,
so how many coming in? How many coming in?
I'll tell you. Somalia, Ethiopia. Right?
I'm not asking you the states.
What I'm telling you is countries. I'm not going to give you an exact number, but what I will give you.
That's what you just asked me.
No. What I'm giving you is factual statistics on the countries that these papers that are coming into the states. The people that you see coming into the states that are immigrating here, a lot of them are coming from those Muslim countries, and they're bringing the religion and the ideology with them. And so they're telling you, oh, well, let's ban the Muslims. But we're not doing a Muslim ban per se. We're just banning these specific countries. But guess who's coming into the country over the last 20 years? Who's coming into this country from those Muslim countries? Most of them are coming from those countries. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. And so if you are banning those countries, you're slowing down the number of Muslims coming into the country across the board.
So who is
because that's where they're coming from.
So this is a question you would always ask: who is they?
Meaning those that are creating the policy, the government. Those in the government that are creating this policy and that are backing this policy, they're telling you one thing because you don't know what I'm telling you. You can't fathom what I'm telling you right
No,
now.
I agree. I agree because here's another thing I want to throw out there. This ban, and it's a partial travel ban, but it's banning those people from those countries coming into the United States. Why?
Do you know how? Right.
Why with the recent terrorism attacks in Europe have we not banned us from going to places like Paris or London? Because those places are getting attacked very frequently now.
Why would you make it?
Not really.
Why would you make it
real frequently? But they get like one out of.
It's been pretty frequent.
Just here in Europe itself is, but not.
Well, they do a travel advisory here in the States.
Yeah, but you can still travel freely in Europe.
I don't understand why anyone would care about a ban for someone going to England. I mean, we're trying to protect the United States.
Right.
But what doesn't that mean you're trying to protect your citizens? Your citizens or your state.
Right, in the United States.
Yeah, but
here's the thing.
So if somebody's gonna make a ban.
You don't want to protect your citizens overseas?
Well, here's a fact. Somalia is one of those countries, right?
Yeah. Somalia is
okay. Do you know how many Somalis came as refugees over the last 10, 15 years?
Oh, a ton.
I can tell you, a whole hell of a lot of them. Whole hell of a lot of them. Did you know that? Probably not. You know how many Ethiopians that came over here? Even though they're part Christians, they have a whole lot. They have a big Muslim community. Refugees, Iranians, refugees, Syrians, refugees. Most of the people that come over here in this country over the last, I'd say 20, 30 years, in mass hordes have been from refugees.
Do any of those states have terrorism? Do any of those states have terrorism?
All of them do.
All of them do.
Exactly.
All of them do.
Exactly. So if you're saying that the deal is about being a Muslim, why can't the deal just be about? Why can't it just be about terrorism like it is?
Well, you can't. You're not gonna say you're not gonna tell people. You're not gonna tell the United States citizens that. Oh, well, we're gonna ban it because there's a whole lot of terrorism over there. That's not what you're going to tell the people.
But there is terrorism.
You're just not going to do that.
That's
not what you're going to tell them.
That's the argument that they're making.
It's terrorism everywhere, except for like Japan.
Yeah,
baby, you look fat. So you're not going to tell us you look fat. Okay, you're not going to do that.
This is where we don't agree. So I don't think this is about being Muslim or Islam. These specific countries have, for whatever reason, drawn red flags for having acts of terrorism or homegrown terrorism. So these specific
some of us
countries are being
more countries than that though.
Well, you can call it Kool-Aid, or you can go with the conspiracy. I'm not going with a conspiracy. I'm just going with what we actually know.
I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you facts.
The bombers.
You giving me a conspiracy because you don't have anything to base that on.
The bombers.
I'm giving you.
Bombers that come from any of those countries that's banned.
What's that?
Nope.
The 9/11 bombers that come from any of those countries that are banned.
Well, it's not. This is done to prevent the next 9/11. Not just because of 9/11.
Why you ain't stop Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, they Saudis. Saudis, a lot of terrorism in Saudi Arabia.
Right. So when people say that, that's like saying that don't really make sense because it's like you trying to say let's throw all of it on everybody at one time.
Why that don't make sense?
So why would I go around?
So why would you do that?
Why would I start there though?
What's that? So you can't. If you're trying to get something implemented, if you're trying to get a bill implemented, you can't just throw the entire every state out there or every country. I'm sorry, country. You can't throw just every country out there and be like, oh, we need to put every country on the list that has ever had an act of terrorism. You have to start somewhere, and so they started with these particular countries that were actually mentioned by the previous administration.
But why didn't we start with that?
The previous administration didn't say they can't come to the. Okay, you're talking about Obama and his temporary ban on travel. That's what you're talking about.
Right, with those specific countries were listed.
But the specific ban on travel wasn't with the same words. And wasn't with the same intent. Okay? Let's first be clear.
So now you're going into intent, which is opinion. Which is opinion, not
it's opinion.
Not factual.
Okay.
We just going off. It's opinion.
You're right. It is my opinion.
It ain't no different than me and my LeVar Ball opinion. That's all that it is.
It definitely ain't fact.
Okay. I might let you have that. I say it's fact, but I'll let you have that. I'll let you have it. I ain't gonna fight you on that.
I just feel like
I think it's the messenger.
I feel like the relationship
Not really.
with Saudi Arabia has something to do with them not being on that list.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because they
I just think
they house terrorists. That's what it is.
Right.
They house
I just think it's the person that's delivering it. If Obama came out with the same bill, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Nobody would even be talking about it.
It's how again, it is it's not who message, it's the message. How you're presenting it. If you don't present it right, you know what I'm saying? That's just true to be told.
I agree with that.
But how he's presenting it is how I'm taking it. And I'm taking it as me understanding how they work, meaning government and how certain people work, especially when they're looking at Muslims, cultures. And I'm telling you, when you're trying to save power and keep power, you got to figure out how to keep a certain group of people out because it's a possibility that they become voters. That's what you do. It's the same thing with putting up a wall. How do you try to keep potential voters out? This is what you do.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that's more conspiracy. I think it gets to that whenever somebody in an argument starts saying, whenever in an argument or in a debate, when somebody starts saying you talking about something that's opinionated, it's not really factual, it's just somebody's opinion.
That's not true.
Some kind of conspiracy. Conspiracy.
That's not a conspiracy. That's politics as usual. What are you talking about? That's historical fact. You see it all the time. Look at the trends. That's been happening. That ain't nothing new. That's been going on.
I don't agree.
Of course you don't.
So what the hell you doing, man?
Oh, I'm checking for the next topic. We need to move on.
That's it, bro. 10 o'clock.
Look, here we go.
Next topic is bye.
New music. New music come out. Go. What you got? What you got, Reggie? Nino?
We actually already talked about it a little bit, but I like the song. What is it? Bodak Yellow by Cardi B.
Bodak Yellow. I have not heard that. I don't even know how to spell that.
Dope song. Man. It ain't no lyrical song, so if you're looking for lyrics, don't even click on it. That ain't what it is. It's just a club song. something
I ain't
to
doing
rock your
that.
head. Bodak
Okay.
Yellow. It just came out 2 days ago, so it's not.
Bodak Yellow by Cardi B.
That's
Couple
Y'all
days
go
ago.
check that out.
song, man.
It has been approved by Nino. He said it's a club banger.
Club banger.
Chuck, you got anything you've been listening to?
Man, I've been on that new Molly music.
Your mic is low, Chuck.
What is Molly Music? I'm sorry. What is that?
Molly music.
Oh yeah, Molly Music. That's dope. I got the album too.
Who is that?
He's you wouldn't listen to him probably. he's a Christian
Then I won't listen to it. Say no,
artist.
I won't listen to it. That's really right. Well, yeah.
he does.
I don't even like gospel music, so I know I ain't gonna listen to nobody rap.
But it's actually more soulful.
Man. He's a soulful artist, man. He kind of he don't
Right.
He don't classify his music, man.
That makes about the right about sense right there. They don't classify as music.
Clay's a rapper. No, he doesn't classify. He doesn't put his music in a category. It's like Lecrae. Lecrae doesn't like you to call him a gospel rapper. They say he's a rapper. You know, he's a rapper that inspires people. You know, even at the BET Awards, you know, when they said he won the best gospel artist this year, or whatever. He was like, you know, people in this category that should have won it. You know, he was like, I don't really. He said, I'm a rapper. You know, but things, spirituality.
Yeah, Judge. I think if you was listening to him, you wouldn't even know he was a. You wouldn't even know it was a gospel album or a gospel artist at all. Because some of his music don't even sound like gospel. It's just soulful music.
Okay.
I'll know right off the bat, depending on what they say, whether or not.
Now, some of he don't even mention. It ain't even like mentioning God. It's just like a soulful, just a soulful music.
I don't want you to listen to him. You're not go listen to him, get a message out of it. So just,
okay. There you go. There you go. I'm not listening to it.
I don't want to sell him. If I was to sell you anything, it wouldn't be him. It'd be the message.
Oh yeah, I don't want
That's my
that.
album, man.
All right, Judge. What you got? What you been listening to?
Oh man, I ain't been listening to much new stuff. The 2 Chainz album came out. That's the only thing. The DJ Khaled. I listened to that on the way to Vicksburg.
DJ Khaled, Grateful album. Brand new, just dropped last week.
I listened to that.
I've been trying to listen to it. I think I've only gotten through about 3 or 4 songs.
It's all right. It ain't none of his best work.
Sounds just like the last album, to be honest. To me,
it is. I'm grateful.
He got all the same people that was on his last album to come back for this album.
How y'all feel about Khaled, man?
I think he's a hustler, man.
He's the ultimate hustler. Next to Diddy, I think Khaled's up there.
Right.
He don't rap one lick. He don't do all his beats.
I kind of think he exploits hip hop.
You know, I heard this argument. I heard this argument that he was, using culture appropriating, culture vulturing. I've heard this argument. I don't think so either. But there is an argument there.
It ain't no argument. That's nonsense.
I think people only use that culture appropriation if it's like somebody that's not black.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly
like somebody that as if somebody that's not black can't be part of the culture.
That's true.
I can't hear you, y'all.
Do you know like other like for instance, what other cultures do you try to be a part of? Of course you're white.
What do you mean, sir?
But like just judge, for instance, judge what other cultures do you involve yourself with?
Such as?
In general, what culture are you trying to tap into? Are you, for instance, Asian? You going out watching Asian movies?
Hey Chuck,
I love Asian movies, sir.
Chuck, your vocals, your sound went down, way down.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
We love Asian movies and anime.
So while he's
and all
messing with his sound, I'm gonna go ahead and say TLC dropped a new album or a new single, so they re-emerging. Also,
Cameron.
Cameron,
A track he laid.
Cameron new song. That single was dope.
Dope, super dope.
I liked it. What is it called? It's called
I can't remember the name off the top.
Cameron still rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the track he got out is tough.
It's tough. Vince Staples just released a new track too with Kendrick Lamar. It's pretty tough too. That Cameron song is called
DIA is what it's called.
Yeah.
DIA.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's
sound
good.
like old Cam. He sound like
Check
old
it out.
Cam.
Yeah, he's tough on that one.
I don't really got nothing else new.
All right, man.
So, fellas, appreciate your opinions, your thoughts, and just being here. We grateful for everybody watching, all you guys out there. We appreciate y'all. It's been episode 5 of No One Can Agree. We had a lot of disagreements today. Stay tuned. Next week we'll have episode 6, and we're gonna not agree on some more shit. We're gonna see y'all later. Peace, folks.
I'm gonna agree on something.